Hi, my name is Miranda Waddell, and I want to briefly talk to you about my artifact number two, which is going to be the PD plan for next year. I was in the Coaching for Equity cohort. At the end of that, I was expected to do a showcase of learning. And so I asked Heather Moss, I said, what would something be that I could help do would help you? And so she said the PD plan. And so I took her feedback. I also worked with the AICs and really try to develop a plan that we can encompass all of our system work, put checks and balances in, and really make sure that we are utilizing our PD plan the best that we can. So on here, I have my links to the PD plan that we turned in. That's the draft of it. But in this plan, we have two focuses, obviously an academic piece on improving reading and math and PLC collaboration, and then that assessment development with our teachers, and then the safety and the positive culture environment for us in state agency. So we really have a three focus part, and then I've included the calendar that it's getting going. So in here, every month we will have one EPD. We're starting off with standard-based grading because that's something relatively new. We have PLCs on Thursdays and Tuesdays, and then we have a focus on our faculty meeting. And so throughout here, we also have a guest speaker every month with the focus of doing equity work or just doing some of that additional training for teachers. And so we've already got just the plan. When is ILT happening? When is our coaching cycles expected to happen? When do we pull teachers out and really look at that triangulation of data, the map, the CERT, other unit assessments and screening data that we are using in state agency, specifically in our residentials, that we will do that work. So again, there's three parts of it is the equity piece. And so every month, again, obviously you're getting a faculty meeting, opportunities for guest speakers, and then our EPD, of course, will hit some of those components based off of our need in our data. So those will be a little bit different and not developed yet because we obviously need to look at reflections and data and all that to make those EPD plans. The academic component will be a focus area on assessment. And so the reason why we thought about that is a lot of our teachers are not content rich. They're EC teachers and usually put into that content. And so the understanding of standards is sometimes lax there. And so when you know the standard, you can develop strong assessments. And when you do that, you're going to naturally incorporate the R tool components, content knowledge, prejudice elimination. You're going to obviously put that into your teaching practices. And so we're like, oh, that would be a really nice area to focus on. And then obviously the culture and climate with the new sanctuary model and with the expectation of PBIS in our systems, that's definitely going to be addressed and supported. Just kind of broke down those three components again. I did add the math plan and the literacy plan on there because we wanted to make sure that we had that as a focus. This year, obviously, is the math plan, so a little bit streamline or more concentration on that math component right now. We developed a unit planning, very brief snippet of what we want our PLCs to do for every unit. So you can see a lot of empty work here, a lot of the R tool, backward planning. So again, we just felt our teachers really needed that support based off of, just the lack of some of their knowledge they may have, which is okay. And that's just our job of doing that. So another thing, we wanted to focus on our APD topics. So culturally responsive teaching, implicit bias, and then Earth and Joy tiering teachers. Again, if you look at tiering the teachers for these culturally relevant teachings, the highest level is assessment. And so that's where we were reading Unearthly Joy. That's where we're like, we really need to focus on that piece. And then the Racial Equity Committee will help look at data, make decisions based off of that, and guest speaking as well, our guest speakers. Again, positive cultural environment includes PBIS and sanctuary model. So we'll continue to make sure our teachers have the planning and that or the idea. We did do a REAP on the plan to make sure that we didn't leave any groups out, and the group agreed that our plan is pretty equitable, and there shouldn't be any groups that are marginalized. But if there were, we'll make sure that we'll check and redo that again later this year. It's just always good practice to relook at that. For the system work, obviously, we should hit every single component of the. I'm trying to move this. I think I made it worse. But if you notice down here, I have it divided by equity, academic, and culture and climate. And so obviously system 1, I can't get to, I'm sorry, but that's academic focus. 2 is equity and academic and culture and climate because it's the behavior component. 3 would be both the equity focus and the academics. Academic is huge in domain 4 and in equity. So again, just that the PLC is looking at that data. Domain 5 is rich in culture and climate. And 6, again, is in a lot of them where you have the coaching and those other components, coaching, feedback, and walkthrough data. And yeah, I just want to get off on a tangent. On our EMPT, making sure we're hitting all of those domains, obviously domain 2 for our professional development. And so that really helped us streamline and put systems in place where we were making sure that we have our checks and balances. So that's all I have for you. Thank you very much.